Obviously in pole position when it comes to where they are in the league, mentally, physically, are they now the favourites?
Liverpool have had a little bit of a blip. I think that's all it is at the moment. But the pressure has swung massively, I think, in Manchester City's favour. To have a 9-point lead, you know, not so long ago, that suddenly disappeared. You know, for City to go ahead, even when they've lost lately as well, you know, obviously the likes of Newcastle, I think now the pressure is on Liverpool. City have been there, they've done it. They've won the league several times in the last few years. Liverpool are starting to get towards 30 years without winning the title. You know, can they get over that last little hurdle to finally get it? Maybe a little bit of belief. Manager's been there and done it before, obviously in Germany, but not too many of these players have. And I just think there just seems one or two nerves creeping in at the moment. But I think the way that City play and Guardiola, they just play. They're not too bothered about results. They are bothered about results, but the way that Pep just goes, this is how we play no matter what. And you keep playing this way, and ultimately it brings results. Liverpool can't have that luxury of being in that position.
Well, Liverpool players seem to be preaching the fact that they're not feeling the pressure. Whereas Pep's been there before with this group of players.
Jeez, this is
so is it a PR thing then?
Of course it is. Of course you feel pressure and when you're at the top of the league. Man City will feel pressure as well when they get on there.
But Pep would rather be here, wouldn't he, than chasing?
Well, you've got to remember Liverpool still got that game in hand. Yeah? So
I think Pep would rather be in Liverpool's position at the moment. Whereas if they win their game in hand, they go 3 points clear.
I think, especially when you're first, as Danny said, that the players in that group have not won many titles before. You know, and I think the first time you win a title, it is nerve-wracking. You're going to places where you've never been before, and you're getting tested. But your characters, if it's been done right, your character should be tested as a young footballer coming all the way through to this moment when you can deal with it.
Is the problem they've come close before and failed? Does that haunt them?
Well, it's a different players, different era. This is different. It's a guy who's won a title before, a huge title.
But a lot of these players have come very, very close and not quite managed to get over the line.
Well, the most important person here has got to be the manager. There's no doubt about that, because the tactics are not going to change too much. Well, the philosophy is not going to change. They might put a player here and a player there, but the philosophy is going to change. It's now, especially after a couple of draws where you lose it, because everybody's looking at the manager now, media, pundits, but more especially the players, because as you say, they're going to an area where they need somebody to go, it's okay, it's not got a problem, you know. But they all do it in different ways. Where I think Guardiola will be different for Klopp. Klopp is different from Alex Ferguson, because Alex Ferguson is actually basically, he scared you into winning games. So it didn't change from the first game of the season to the last game of the season. But as players, it's difficult to deal with that. Funny enough, it's actually better if, I think the first time we went at Aberdeen, we were doing all right and we dropped a few points and we looked like we're out. So the kind of pressure went from us a wee bit. Then we got a couple of great results and we're back in there again with 4 games to go. So it was crammed into 2 weeks, so it wasn't a long time. And I think the same with Man United, you know, there's the same thing you have a wee... And even with Leeds, when we were at Leeds when we first won that title, we're going well, lose a couple of games, we're out at a couple of results, Man United, then Man United go, whoa, they're back in it. And it threw Man United at that point, because a lot of the guys at that point hadn't won the league either. So you can actually...
At some stage, somebody's got, like you say, that bridge that they've got to get over has got to be there to
it's just character to stay in there and hang in there. And the game wasn't beautiful, some of the games you played, but people forget that. People forget the mistakes you made. You just remember the wins, you know, at this stage. So it's all about, I think it's a manager at this time, where how am I dealing with it? How am I looking? And the players will come in every day and go, glad I'm with him, you know. But
I think it's also been such a long time since Liverpool have won the league. That adds more pressure. Manchester City at the moment won it last year, won it, you know, a couple of seasons before that and before that. Yeah. Those players have got that trophy. They've ticked that box. The club have ticked that box of winning the league.
Yeah, but the turnover of the players have changed.
Of course, but I still think, but they still know it's still nearly 30 years since Liverpool won that title.
Yeah, but you can take it one
fans,
that can get on you.
Or
you can take it as excitement. Just think about, I'm going to be one of the players that got to get back after 30 years. That can drive you onto new things. That can.
But as you said, that has to come from the manager. And I just look at the manager the last couple of games, and the way he's reacted afterwards. Maybe he's starting to feel a little bit of pressure. You know, maybe the Premier League is different. You know, it's far more watched than any other league in the world. Maybe it's just getting to him very, very slightly.
I mean, we're obviously sat here talking about it. It is debated, it is discussed, it is focused on. We're looking at it for every little minute twitch or cracking what a manager's saying.
Yeah.
I mean, so sometimes, is that fed back into the whole machine? So when the players they know everybody's watching, they know every word's picked up on. Like Gordon said about them, almost like a PR exercise. No, we're not feeling the pressure, we're OK.
And that's what, when you look at Sir Alex Ferguson, always the same. Mourinho, I'm the special one, we're going to win no matter what. And you get that confidence and that belief, and you get that sort of siege mentality. Guardiola, we just play. This is how we play. Don't worry about the result. This is how we play. Results will come. You know, Liverpool, have they got that at the moment? You know, they've not played as well this season as they did last year. Their performances haven't been as good, but they've been more effective this season. Now they're having a little bit of a dip. What do they go back to? You know, they just go back to like scrapping out games and winning that way, or go back to last season where they were blowing teams away. I said it's been a little bit of a slightly indifferent season in terms of performances this season, although the results have been better.
There's things that you cannot judge. Just say you go back to the Man City first time they won it with that last-minute goal where Aguero scored. Would they have won it if Joey Barton didn't get himself sent off? No, you can look at these things and go, that can change
history. The fine margins in a game.
That can change. And that's got nothing to do, at that point, with tactics, anything. That was somebody getting sent off and given that wee chance, Man City, to get through. You need the players to score a wonderful goal and somebody stretch, like, I think it was Balotelli, who stretched more than he's probably tried before in his life.
It's only ever assist.
To get that touch there, and you've got that world-class player. But what would have all happened if Joey Barton had maybe been in an area, they've got 11 men.
I mean, with Manchester City, did they have...
So what I'm saying is that if you fail, if two of these teams fail, it's got nothing to say that they didn't have character, because people say it's character, this, that and everything. These two teams have got great managers, great technique, great character. That's why they're putting on this performance. So I hate when people say, oh, this famous one, they say, oh, they bottled it. No, they didn't. The other team could have...
Is that because there's so many variables that go into winning a football match?
Exactly. But you can nullify that by playing brilliantly, being fit. Your set plays are good, so you can narrow that. But there'll be elements you cannot deal with sometimes in football. And if one of these teams, and listen, Tottenham are still in there, right? If one of these teams lose it, I'd hate for somebody to turn around and say, oh, they bottled it, didn't it? Doesn't work that way.
Liverpool might win the title by a point, and that's down to the offside goal from the other night. You know, something like that. Of course, certain things, you've got to try and control the controllables. Do your job, play as well as you possibly can, and then hope that it's enough. And so the only difference is, I think, this season, Liverpool is, performances haven't been as good this season, but they've been more effective in the way that the defence has been better. So where they've lost a little bit in terms of performance, they've been a bit more solid.
I didn't see all, but would we say that West Ham deserved to probably win the game the other night there?
Yeah, there's some great chances.
So that's a good point for Liverpool. You come away and say, right, OK, we're hanging there, we blocked shots, we did that, because it wasn't all about wonderful attacking tonight. It was times where I had people to block, get ahead of them and do something like that. So you have to congratulate them for doing that and get the points.
Because it's not as straightforward as going to play West Ham and coming away with 3 points.
Well, no, City might go back to the start when they played Liverpool and Mahrez missed the penalty. You know, what a great opportunity that was. That could be massively costly. There's always going to be incidents throughout the season. You know, Liverpool go back to the Gerrard slip. It's the course of a season. You finish where you deserve to finish over the course of 38 games. Yes, there will be certain moments that you can go, oh, that changed or this changed. But ultimately, you finish where you deserve to finish. And if Liverpool deserve to be top, they will finish top.